Ah, there we go. And now it's recording. Okay, I must have been in the wrong room. Somehow. Huh? I have it set so it'll automatically record. I just have to need to start from the website, that's all. Because I know that I won't remember otherwise. Yes. Ah, there we go. Admit Stephanie. Admit. Where'd Stephanie go? Oh, there she goes. Admit.
There she is.
So I entered the wrong room somehow at first. That's what the problem was. I'm having a day, guys.
Morning, Stephanie.
Good
Hello,
morning, Patty.
Hey, I got here.
Yeah. Let me move
Hi.
a little bit so Mom can be seen a bit better. Can you guys see Mom a little better?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. There. Now remember, Mom, you have to make sure that you, speak up-ish because sometimes people have trouble hearing you. How you guys doing?
Hi,
Hello.
Stephanie.
Yes.
Yes, it's good to see you.
How are you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Not too bad. Glad you weren't driving. Energy of the hours.
Patty,
Pardon?
are you having? Is it just nice and cozy? Or are you having problems with light sensitivity?
I just decided to be very creative.
You look very artsy.
Yes, you do.
Isn't that great? Last night I was setting up the camera with this. This is my desktop computer, and it has a better chair with back support and everything. So I wanted to sit here, and so my husband bought me a camera, and we hooked it up last night, and I saw something on there that said you could put backgrounds, and I went, ooh, this should be fun. And I just kind of went crazy. And I tried on the standard backgrounds, and I thought, oh, these are boring. So you can add your own pictures. So I went into the file that I have for all of what I use for desktop backgrounds. And I've got just hundreds and hundreds of, like fine art and all kinds of things there. And I have this, and I had one other choice that I kind of settled on. And the other for Doctor Who fans was the TARDIS control room from the Peter Davison age. And since Peter Davison was my first Doctor, I thought, oh, this is nice. But it's very, very light. And I thought the background might be too stark. So this looks nice, and just, I like that. I don't know. There. Okay, I turned on my light that's in here because I think I was coming out dark.
Yeah.
Yes, you were.
Okay.
Are they books back there? Because it reminds me of Beauty and the Beast.
Yes, very cozy.
It's a library. I don't know where it is. I just have it in my files saved as classic library or something like that, and I just thought the library in my dreams. It looks good.
The first thing I thought of when I saw it was that you were sitting in Belle's library.
And just a heads up to everybody, this is recording automatically, so that way people who didn't get a chance to join Zoom can watch it afterwards.
Okay.
But it'll be just available to people in the cafe, so you know all who you all are.
So what is everybody drinking or eating? Because this is a tea party kind of thing.
Earl Grey. I have my Earl Grey. It's my favorite.
That's a good tea.
Good.
I like my milk and brown sugar in it.
Ooh, brown sugar.
Oh, I have never had brown sugar in tea.
Delicious, delicious. And my graham crackers.
Graham crackers.
Yes. So I'll go to Costco later today. They have their stroopwafels on sale. And it's not the gluten-free ones, but it's the huge box of 40. So they'll have that on sale for a pretty good price. So I saw you eating your stroopwafels in one of your videos, and I'm like, oh, gotta get them.
Stroopwafels.
Yum.
Patty.
I've got my almond sugar cookie black tea. Yum. And it wasn't quite ready when I came to sit at my desk. So I brought my shot glass for milk, my half and half. It's like,
Shot glass. Are we that difficult to take? You need to have a shot.
that's it.
We're
So
trying
I'm gonna play with my camera a
awful
little bit
because
here.
our normal gluten-free brand is out. So this is Stroop Club. And they are slightly more calories, but oh, are they worth it?
Yes.
Do you get those online?
Yes, Amazon.
Okay.
And this particular brand does say all their products are gluten-free, dairy-free, so I can be
Pick and choose.
certain. But I'm having, well, I managed to split the bag because if there's a way to mess things up today, I am having that kind of day.
She spilled tea all over the floor.
All over the floor.
Oh no.
Thankfully, it was a fairly inexpensive tea, and it comes like 8.8 ounces for about $8 to $9.
Oh yeah.
This is Taylor's Harrogate's Yorkshire Red. And the Yorkshire Gold yesterday when I opened it was hard to open. So I thought I would have the same issue with Yorkshire Red. No, instead Yorkshire Red split down the sides and all over the place. Explosion up my sleeve.
I still can feel. I vacuumed in there. I can still feel little tea things on the floor. I'm gonna have to go sweep.
But if I was it says let's have a proper brew. If I was having a proper brew, I'd be having milk like y'all are having.
I'm not having milk in mine. I've got Plum Deluxe maple chai, refreshing, invigorating, and just wonderful.
Yum. That sounds so good.
Yep, it is.
Brittany
I was
said-
having loose. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just letting y'all know that Brittany said that she might be a little late if she's able to come at all because of some stuff with school for JD.
Yeah, and I don't know if I don't know if Pat's gonna be able to make it. 'Cause she's in Florida.
Right.
I think there was a note that she said she wasn't because their internet is so spotty.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
I think they're having with that weather over there. I mean, she's right, right there.
We had, well, Marlisha, I had to laugh. You saw my post the other night that I was talking about the horrible wind. It's 4:30 in the morning. I'm posting about that. I haven't gone to bed yet. Obviously, Marlisha's just getting up.
That used to be a regular thing for
So
us.
Patty, where do you live, Patty?
I'm south of Atlanta by about 45 minutes to an hour. I'm in McDonough.
So are you still on the East Coast?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's-
I know.
oh, okay. Okay.
This,
Yeah.
Stephanie, this was a regular occurrence for us. She would say good night, and I would say good morning. And
Oh
off
my
she goes.
goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm often up until, about 3 o'clock, 2 or 3 in the morning. And
Wow.
what happened was, I think I was up till about 3 or so, and I was reading, and the wind was really, picking up. But then I heard something outside, this thud. And so my husband woke up, and we both went outside, and we're like turning on all the lights and trying to see what happened. And yeah, there's branches everywhere, but we couldn't really tell if something had hit the house. So we go through this whole, routine of checking everywhere. And then we finally gave up, went back to bed. 10, 15 minutes later, there's another thud. Oh my gosh, here we go again. And we did that 3 times. And
Wow.
because of that, I never got to bed until after 5.
Right.
So
That makes
Yep.
sense.
Did you ever find out what it was?
I know, because there were branches all around the house, but nothing on the roof and nothing that hit, because the trees, we only have one tree that's close enough to the house that it could drop a branch, and it already did that a couple of years ago, and then we had the tree trimmed. So there's nothing that's right near the house that you could say, oh, that's a branch hitting the house or anything like that. So I never figured it out. And or if it was something like, we've got some screens that aren't being used, window screens, and we thought, oh well, maybe it's leaning against something.
Or maybe they're
It was
slamming.
leaning against the screen porch, so it really wouldn't have even made that much
Huh.
noise. Yeah, it wasn't enough to, I don't know. Maybe it was Dad trying to get our attention, saying, be careful.
Could be.
I don't.
Are you having weather there? Is there like, I don't watch the news a lot. I stay away from it, so I don't even know what weather's going on in the world.
Where
Is
are
there
you, Stephanie?
storms
Yeah.
Where are you?
in Denver?
Hurricane, right?
Oh,
I'm
okay.
in Denver.
Okay. Okay. No, we've got, is it a hurricane that came through, Marlisha?
Hurricane.
That's on my phone. So I kind of keep an
Okay.
eye on the weather because I get alerts on my phone, and also because we're both very affected by the weather. We kind of like to know in advance. Okay, this might be a rough
Mhm.
day.
Yeah.
Prep ourselves that we're going to be resting today.
It's so
Go ahead, Stephanie.
crazy. I get migraines like you guys do, and they're weather related.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So if there's something coming in over the mountains, I just start. Oh, my husband says I can tell if it's raining in LA.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
Mhm. My
Yeah.
husband used to
you know,
laugh at
my
me.
brother lives there in Fort Valley, so I should.
Oh, okay.
No, I used to be.
Sorry,
my
go
husband used to
ahead.
laugh at me because I would say, okay, there's nothing going on here, but there's a hurricane going on in Florida, or something's happening over here. I don't get migraines, thank God, but I get all over body pain. So it's just like, yeah,
Oh,
it's interesting, you know.
interesting.
But
Yeah.
Patty,
Yeah.
before we get too far in, I want to not go political, but you had mentioned something you wanted to bring up about the Instagram hashtags. I couldn't find it because they replaced it. So can you tell us what you saw?
Well, what happened was in the wee hours of this morning, as usual, I was trying to put up a picture of the knitting that I was working on. And I always use certain hashtags. And I thought, let me see if there are any other hashtags I can use other than hashtag, the one for PHN and the one that says charity knitting when I'm doing baby things. So on Instagram, I clicked on the hashtag charity knitting just to see what would turn up. And it gave me about about six pictures, and they were all quite old. And I thought, well, that's odd because mine weren't even on there that I just posted this week. So I scrolled down, and when I got down to just below there, I'm going to read because I did a screenshot of it.
Okay.
I always
And that's
do
my
screenshots of that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's why I apologize for it being so small, but that's the way the screenshot did. Underneath those older posts, it said, recent posts from all hashtags are temporarily hidden to help prevent the spread of possible false information and harmful content related to the election. So that's why I can't find any hashtags that say PHN charity knitting or any other PHN. That's the latest one that I had put.
That's real political.
What is political about it?
What that means, that's like mom coming into the room and saying, I'm punishing. Well, what that does is when we're doing a knit along, as we're in right now, we're doing the charity knit along that I'm knitting for. The what other knit alongs are y'all doing? The toys, anything else? You can't go to Instagram and pull up the hashtags and see the most recent things, because I did it last night after I saw this and blew a gasket. I looked at the PHN charity knitting. Nothing I have done in the past few weeks showed up. So you're not going to get a proper, like if you were getting ready to draw prizes and you went to the hashtag, you would not see the recent posts from the past few weeks because they're gone. They're being suppressed.
Why?
That is weird.
I guess they figured they just don't want to actually moderate. They just are going to like blanketly.
Yeah, it sounds like they're just saying, okay, across the board, anything after this point on any, you said it's any group, that it's not going to show up.
All hashtags.
Yeah, I'm just checking
Yeah.
right now something.
So
and I
whether you're
recently
putting a
posted.
hashtag vote,
Yeah,
yeah.
'cause
If
Yes,
you're
that's
using a hashtag that says vote for somebody, I can understand that. Or
Right,
if you're
right.
using a hashtag that says don't vote. But no, every hashtag.
no, it makes sense. I just hit
So,
my one for it doesn't make sense, but I just hit my one handcrafted rosaries or handmade rosary. It was handmade rosary. And I hit handcrafted rosary and the most recent one they have is 5 days ago, and I posted one 3 days ago. So yeah, it's all across the
yeah.
board.
Check, take up and
So
read.
it's also going to hurt your business.
Yes.
Yes.
That will.
Yeah, I just don't.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't want to get too far into it, but I did want to address this because you had brought it up and we didn't know what it was, and you said that it might
Yeah.
affect some of the stuff. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Take up and read doesn't use hashtags, Mom.
Oh, they don't. Okay, that's good then.
But yeah, if you use hashtag, yeah, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Like someone did cats of Instagram just a second ago. I want to see if her post showed up. Nope.
For what of Instagram?
Cats of Instagram.
Oh, that's just really weird.
Oh, I looked that one up too. I looked that up and I had to laugh because Cats of Instagram is gone. I mean, they're dangerous.
I know. Gotta watch
You
those
know,
They
cats.
gotta keep those claws.
Dangerous cats that might influence your vote.
Well,
They
you
might
know,
scratch you
you
if
know,
make the wrong decision.
Yeah, those claws. Vote this way. Yeah,
Roar.
that that just shows you how much power they have, and they're throttling back, and not just throttling back. They're just flat out censoring. They're just
Yeah.
pulling everything.
And the unfortunate
I just
thing-
Crazy.
that
the
made me
unfortunate-
very
Go ahead,
angry.
Patty. Go ahead, Patty. I think the unfortunate thing
No,
is,
that's all. That's all.
well, it's censoring people, but it's also now it's going to curtail the business. They're going to get backlash as soon as I didn't know because I don't post a lot on Instagram. I really try to stay off of there as much as possible.
and I don't check it again after my hashtags after I do them.
That's why if somebody contacts me on Instagram, either on the shop or on the personal, they need to let me know because I don't usually check. I will check I'll check my shop one first because that's where I have it pulled up.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to contact me on my personal one, somebody has to say something or I won't get it. Like Emma will contact us me there, and she's learned to say something because I don't check. It's just I don't like being there anymore. It's very negative over there.
Well, also, I found that when I started doing other things, when I stopped going on social media as much, I was getting other things done.
Yes.
Shockingly.
Yes. We actually have a life over here.
Yep.
Well,
I don't do it all.
I put all of my knitting pictures on Instagram.
I do too.
And in fact, last night or in the wee hours of this morning, right after I posted the latest picture of the baby hat I was working on, someone did contact me on Instagram, in Instagram Messenger. And she also does test knitting for Jamie, because I looked on her profile and I saw that she had posted when we were both working on the Creekside Crescent. And because I always check if somebody's contacting me on Instagram, if I don't recognize the name, I check to see who it is. So I had checked, and she was asking me about the baby hats. And because I don't use a pattern, she was asking if I could give her some information, like what was I, how many was I casting on and those kind of things. So she and I had a conversation, and she was in Scotland. And so, she contacted me through Instagram Messenger, and I only have a few people who I talk to there, but I do a lot on Instagram, but I have it where most of the people I follow are going to be knitters or people who I'm not going to, see things that I don't, that are going to make me angry or frustrated. I've already got my follower list cold to where those people don't show up.
I've got mine. So I've got mine that way as well because
life has enough stress.
Yeah,
you don't need to add to it.
Taya helped me to privatize it to privatize my account. So if you're on there, like Stephanie, you're on there, Patty, you're obviously on there. And if somebody asks me for a friendship and I don't know who you are and I can't check on you, I won't accept you. You have to contact me and let me know who you are. And I feel badly about that, but I don't want to anymore. And even some of my knitter friends that slip through sometimes, I have to go back then and not necessarily block them. If I like the person, I will put them, what is it, mute?
Yeah, so you don't necessarily see what they post, but you can still be friends with them. You know, you can look for them and see their stuff, but you don't have to, because if they're very political, you don't necessarily.
Yeah, I get upset very easily by things like that, especially if it's a friend who all of a sudden seems to change in midstream and attacks. So I try not to get too involved with the political.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of Instagram myself, and I deleted a whole bunch of places I was following because it had gotten way too, it wasn't crafty.
No.
So anyway, I like your religious posts and I like the craft side. So I just don't go on there tons, but I have very few that I'm following anymore.
I think that's a good idea, Stephanie. I think when you call it, you kind of focus more and you also have more time to do other things. I have a ton of religious because we're both Paulines. And so I have a lot of the daughters of St. Paul and all that kind of stuff. And then I have all the knitters and hand dyers and crafters, things like that. Crafters. And I have, yes. And I have a couple of my writer friends, writing people.
Oh, yeah. I was going to come in.
Brittany made it. Yay.
Let me make sure no one else is in the waiting room when I got distracted playing with my stuff. Okay. Okay, good.
Hey, Brittany.
Hi, Brittany. I want to make sure there was no one else waiting because I was looking at my knitting. I had made a mistake and needed to tink back. And then I realized, there's someone in the waiting room.
There's a Brittany.
It is a Brittany.
I made it. I feel frazzled, but I'm here.
Oh,
I think it's a frazzled kind of day.
Yeah. It's a frazzled kind of day.
Brittany, last time I talked to you, I'd spilled maple syrup, or I almost spilled maple syrup all over the floor and managed to avoid it. Today I spilled tea all over the floor.
It's Brittany's fault. It has to be Brittany's fault. That's the common
But it wasn't
denominator.
the liquid tea. It was, I opened the bag of tea.
It got all over everything.
Everywhere. Is that JD?
Is JD home?
She needs my help. I'll be right back.
Okay. She's doing a school right now. Online.
I'm multitasking because I have another monitor. I have two monitors at my desk. So I have y'all at the big monitor right in front, but I have another monitor off to the side, which is how I was able to pull up that screenshot that I did because I could make it big enough so I could read it.
Right.
I was otherwise at a disadvantage.
You must have been really
handy.
You must have been really by my response to have actually said exactly what you had the screenshot of. I didn't quite. It was early. I wasn't quite getting what you were saying.
She doesn't get a lot of sleep the days that the weeks Dad goes into work because Dad works every other week right now. So when he goes into work, she has to get up earlier because he gets up a little before 3.
Yeah.
So she gets up and stays up with him. But I do physical therapy at night, and she likes to be there while I do. So that way, it helps motivate me to actually do it. To be quite honest with you, because physical therapy is not fun.
So I get tired. So I'm still picking up. Refilling my energy. So I'm looking at your post. I'm like, what is she talking about?
Yeah, I wanted to get a screenshot to make sure, just in case it went away, and I thought, okay, quick, I'll do this. And then I figured the easiest thing to do at that time of the morning, because heaven only knows what time that was, I thought, I'll just mention, let's talk about this, because I saw a way it would directly affect you. And okay, let's go to the PHN Charity Knitting 2020 and see who's posted so that we can draw prizes or whatever. Because honestly, we have no idea how long they're going to keep this up.
This is true. But
I
think
mean,
they're
you
go ahead. Is she there?
No, that's okay.
Hi,
Oh.
Brittany.
I think they're gonna get backlash because it's gonna start affecting people's businesses.
Because there's a lot of people who use
I
it.
hope they get backlash. I hope it. Yeah.
Brittany, we're talking about something that happened on Instagram. Patty had told us about. They're suppressing certain posts, certain
It
hashtags,
sounds like it's most hashtags.
So they're suppressing all
all
hashtags.
hashtags across the board for what do you say, about 5 days, Patty?
Well, Talia says it goes back at least 5 days, and I didn't see how far it went back. Actually, since I have the two screens, I'm gonna put in our hashtag, PHN Charity
2020.
2020. It
But like,
says
my
there
rose-
are 184 posts.
But like I clicked my rosary one, and my most recent rosary post didn't show up, but one 5 days ago did.
They're
Yeah.
saying that they're doing this because of what was it, something about through elections and politicals, what was it?
So that basically, so that they're not spreading quote or disinformation, that's what, or yeah. But it's telling me that there are 184 posts in the PHN Charity 2020. 9 posts show up. One is from 39 weeks ago, from Helpful Mama. One is Rena's from 19 weeks ago. Nothing, there's a bunny butt.
They're ubiquitous.
From Stephanie. It's a bunny butt that Steph put
Stephanie
up.
though might be
11
Steph. It might be the other Steph.
11
Yeah, the other
Oh.
Stephanie.
Steph, yeah, well, that's what I mean. I'm just going through it and finding Steph
Yeah,
K37.
that's
the
Steph.
other- Okay, 11 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, so 9 posts, and they're so old, they're growing mold.
Right.
So you can't find anything on an innocent hashtag, charity knitting, no,
Cats
sorry.
of Instagram.
Cats of Instagram.
Yep. So,
Wanted to bring it
yeah,
up
that set me off.
we wanted to bring it up to speed so you knew what we were kind of talking about, Brittany. We're not going to dwell on it because we don't do politics, but we just wanted to let you know so you weren't in the dark.
Thank you.
Is JD settled with her stuff?
She is, yeah. Let's see, we found out at noon yesterday that we were going remote for today because a couple of employees tested positive, and so they just said, we got to go remote for Friday.
It's got to be more than Friday. It's supposed to be 2 weeks, right?
Well, we already had Monday and Tuesday off.
Oh, okay.
And so that's giving the school time to figure out what they're going to do, I think.
Right.
We'll see. I know.
You're not new to homeschooling. You're not new to homeschooling. Yeah.
We're not, but all this technology, it like makes your mind go, ah.
Yeah.
It's stretching you as a parent teacher type person.
Yes.
Yes, pull out your knitting so you can knit that
Yeah.
stress away.
Ah.
What is everybody making?
I'm trying to do an Afghan. Okay, I started this so long ago, and I'm supposed to have it done by Christmas. It's supposed to be a huge American flag Afghan for my mom and dad for
Nice.
Christmas. I don't know if it's going to get there.
Thankfully, it's crochet.
Yeah, crochet moves fast.
Yeah, it's way faster than knitting. Yeah.
And I think it's the other Steph who's testing for me, not you. So at least you don't. Yeah, I thought so. Sorry,
Yeah, I
have
wanted to.
too many Stephs, guys. One of you,
That's
some of y'all are going to change your names.
I feel really bad because I wanted to test for you that one time, and then we got so busy back at work again, and I just didn't have time.
It happens,
do-
okay. I will have other tests.
Yeah, I'm hoping we'll slow down again, but it's been crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm crocheting more than I was because I started another Sereno.
Ah,
Because The one I have that Mom used to use as a doorstop, I have to keep stuffing it in so that way it will stay on top of my, where the
On top of the curtain rod.
on top of the curtain rod.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
yeah, a light comes up through. So that's where I've been putting my Cyranos.
That is such a good idea.
But Mom's is too fat, so I just stuff them in there. I'm afraid I'm going to break the curtain rod. So I have to make a couple because Cyrano's not quite long enough. So big hardship. I have to have 4 Cyranos.
I heard you talking about that on your podcast the other day, and I thought, oh my gosh, that is such a fabulous idea. If you want
Actually,
your,
it was Dad's idea.
To put it on
your
the,
door thingy, like the bottom of your door, if there's a draft, or like your curtain for blocking the dark or blocking the light.
And honestly, it does a lot because when you're, with your migraines, ouch, hit my funny
Yeah.
bone. With your migraines, Stephanie, that any light can cause you like excruciating pain to the point where you want to cry. So even that little bit of light above my blackout curtains is extremely painful. So Cyrano takes care of that.
Such a good idea. I'll be making some sometime.
yeah, I've got one on my hook. I don't need it for what I need it for anymore because I'm getting the other one back for the doorstop.
But so he'll be our representative back here because we don't have a Cyrano representative on the couch.
And I made some progress on him. You'll see him tomorrow.
Yeah, I didn't bring mine with me. I picked out the yarn for my next one after I finished the 2 I'm working on. So all the crazy yarn that I can't figure out what to use for anything else.
They're going for it.
Well, I hope your dad treats.
Stephanie, you
What'd
have
you
to
say,
repeat
Stephanie?
yourself because we lost you.
I said, well, I hope your dad treats Cyrano well. I hear about how he talks about your stuffed animals.
He's nicer to Cyrano than he is to my poor radar.
I'm just checking something. I think the connection was on our end, so I'm going to try to see if I can change to the other Wi-Fi.
Stephanie, can you see us all right in the liturgy of the hours?
In the defer liturgy?
Yeah,
Oh,
with the
yeah.
lighting and stuff.
Okay, because the lighting, we have to play with the lighting for her site.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I can see you real well. And I just love your setting. Are you in your kitchen when you do that?
That's my dining room.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I just love that.
Thank
Your
For those of you who
background.
haven't seen it. Now, Brittany, I know that you probably have seen it when you would test my old toy patterns when I used to have the little video beforehand.
Yep.
With the background of the statues and the antiques. I know you've seen it.
I don't think Patty has seen it.
Patty may or may not have seen that background.
My husband said it looks nice too. He saw it. He said it looks really nice.
That's nice.
I'm walking around, so I'm going in the other room.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been over here adjusting my curtains, trying to see if I can get more light. I don't know that I'm going to use this background again because it seems to keep things dark. And I don't see an option to.
It looks like you're in candlelight, Patty.
Yeah, it does look like you're kind of like Brittany. She's using a background that she could throw behind her, so it's not a real background, but it's really happy and cozy. I kind of want to.
It is.
Yes.
It's cool.
All kinds
Yeah,
of
I have 2 big windows behind me that I was afraid would let in too much light. So I thought, well, I'll try a background. Next time I'll just go ahead and put the TARDIS background up because that will brighten things up.
And actually, we're not having as much because what I thought we'd have more of, and we get a little bit of it when you move, but I thought we'd get more of that. When someone moves and it's like on green screen or something, you'll see like a little bit of lag.
Yeah, or shadow or something.
Not a shadow. You'll see a lag of like the pixels when someone moves their arms.
I think they've improved that.
And every rare once in a while, I'll see it, but they've actually done a pretty good job of making it so you see just like there, every once in a while when she moves, you can see the real background behind her. I'm looking for it, so that's the only reason why I probably am noticing.
I think the only person we got was Stephanie.
Ooh,
That's
pretty.
pretty. I was going to ask her about that. Yes.
Yes, I finished some socks.
Well, isn't that pretty?
I'm going to go ahead and turn us back on normal light so Mom, we can actually see the color.
Isn't that pretty?
It's kind of oranges and it's called Harvest, this one.
Very pretty.
So
That's awesome.
What's
Just
your
gonna-
contrast color?
It's just a black.
Okay.
Like brown.
Because once in a
Yeah,
while it had the pops of the black in there.
cool.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was black or a dark navy, so I
Yeah.
figured better ask.
I thought it was brown. So yeah, very nice.
Differences in screens.
Yeah. So and Patty, we don't know what you're working on yet.
Well, you know me, I've been on that baby hat binge, and I don't know. Let's see. I don't know if you can see what like that the color, because
Hang
I
on,
think
let
the
me,
color.
keep holding it up, Patty. I'm gonna change it back. I have us on night light setting. Can you see that better, Mom?
A little bit. Is that the one you posted recently on Instagram?
Yeah, that's the one. This is the latest one. It's actually very bright, so it's not coming across in this.
Okay.
It's 2 yarns. Actually, this is a bright yellow, and the other one is multicolor, which I don't know if you can actually see just how multicolor it is. The multicolor one is some sock yarn from some socks I made for, I don't know, one of my girls some years ago, but it's not an indie dyer type yarn. It's just a big box yarn. So that means it's really not a lot of wool. So it should still be very washable. And the yellow that I'm using is that Premier yarns that I was making all the baby hats out of. The beginning of this year or last year, whenever I sent you baby hats, and a lot of the little bonnets that have the ties.
Yeah.
I remember those.
Those are cute.
Yeah, it's kind of a really soft cotton blend. And when you put them together, it works out really nicely. It's very soft and it's so thick. So the babies are going to be really warm. It's not something practical for Georgia, but y'all will. The babies up your way will stay toasty warm.
Nice. I love that.
What's the coldest you guys get down there?
Sometimes we'll hit 0, but lately that's, I mean, not 0. Sometimes we'll hit 32. I have to adjust because we watch so many programs that they're like, we're at 14 degrees, and I think, oh my gosh, but they're centigrade. So yeah. But yeah, 32 is not that unusual in a tough winter, but lately, like last year, I don't even think we had snow last winter, this past one. So no, not really that cold.
Snow was
Not even compared to y'all. Y'all get colder winters.
Yeah.
And because we did have some snow last year, because I got a couple of snow days from work. Oh wait, no, was that the year before? We didn't get snow around my surgery.
No snow on your
Yeah, it was the year before. I don't sure we got snow.
Yeah, we got snow that year too.
It was a pretty bad year that year.
Oh, you're right, because that was the year that the diocese actually told us not to go to Mass because it was so snowy.
Right. Now, Stephanie, you're in Colorado, right?
Yes.
We used to live there in Colorado Springs for a couple of years, and like clockwork, at around 3 o'clock or 2:30, we would get rain and hail. And do you get that now around that at the same time? It was like clockwork. I can set my clock by it.
It's usually in the springtime, and it's the afternoon. I'm sorry, I had to move around a lot, you guys. I had to change rooms. The afternoon spring showers. It happens a lot. I feel like we didn't have as much this season, but maybe I'm not remembering right.
Right.
But yeah, it does still happen sometimes. And then in the winter, we'll get some good afternoon snow. But we'll see. I'm hoping for lots of snow this year.
Oh, I don't like snow. I think it's pretty, but they need to figure out a way to keep it off the road.
Well, it's not like we're going anywhere this year anyway.
That's not the point. If I can ever get back to Mass, I want to be able to go.
We ain't never leaving this house.
I'll tell you what. We've been
I was hoping that Pat was going to be here today because Pat and I often talk about, well, did you turn on your air conditioning today? Because she and I had, well, yesterday, because we had the storms, the rain and all that come through, it was very, very humid yesterday. And the high temperature was supposed to be like 76 or 77.
Yuck.
And along with the humidity, I couldn't even keep the windows open. I ended up turning on the air conditioning yesterday. And I thought, oh no, I have to tell Pat.
Yeah, yeah.
I bet she's having to do something similar in Florida.
Oh, Florida's
Well, she's in
horrible.
Florida, yeah.
Florida's horrible. We lived there too for a couple of years.
That was you and your parents.
Yeah, I was little.
Yeah.
I just remember it being hot and buggy and closing down the base for like an hour. Everybody had to stay inside while the bug trucks went by and sprayed everything. And that was when they used DDT,
Yeah.
We had that when I grew up in Kansas, and we had those trucks.
Oh, did you?
Oh yeah, spraying for mosquitoes. Our mosquitoes were so bad.
Yeah. Are they really? That's not something I would have thought of for Kansas.
Yes, I grew up it's in Salina. It's in the very middle of Kansas. So it's starting to go further east from Kansas. It starts getting a little more green and humid, or from Salina. So, we had terrible bugs there.
Yeah, because I think of like what you see on Gunsmoke, or what you
Yeah.
see in Wizard of Oz, which is like
Dust Bowl.
Well, some parts of it is, but I grew up in a smaller town, like it's 45 or 50,000.
Mhm.
So it's just like a little city, a little town. But there are lots and lots of parts of it that are just nothing.
Sounds nice.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
any mountains, or is it just as
Flat.
flat?
No, we just have little hills.
Okay.
Kansas is little hills. Yeah.
When I was in college and a little after college, I dated a guy seriously who was from California, and he came to see our Shenandoah Mountain. He came to visit me, and he saw our Shenandoah Mountains. He was like, "Oh, we love our mountains here." And he's just like, "Oh, you guys have such cute little
Baby
hills."
mountains. Yeah.
Oh,
Just like,
We almost hit him.
that's funny.
our mountains. Go back to your snobby California self.
My brother lives there in Fort Valley. I love it. And I told him a few years ago, I said, all right, here's the 10-year plan. You've got 10 years to find me a place to live out here. So it's gorgeous. I love where you live.
Oh, we think it's the best area.
Oh, we live in this area is gorgeous. You come here, Stephanie, you'll love it here. It is
Wow.
beautiful here.
It's so beautiful.
When I used to work night shift at the hospital about 40 minutes away from us, I would drive home and the sun would be coming up on my drive back. So I would see the sun coming up over the mountains.
Beautiful.
And it was just the most gorgeous view on the ride back. It almost made that drive worth it.
Wow. So beautiful there. Brittany, where do you live?
Illinois, and I'm pretty close to I'm close to the Iowa border. We're like 7 miles from the Mississippi River.
So do you get a lot of the mosquitoes and humidity?
Yeah, we get a ton of humidity. Mosquitoes aren't terrible. I mean, they can be, but they haven't been recently in years past. So
Knock on some wood really hard.
If I lived in it, you guys are without that humidity, my hair would be a mess.
in the summer, my hair just goes up because there's nothing I can do.
Right. Yeah.
You just have to give up and be like, okay, that up hair is the thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
All summer long.
Well, it's cooler that way anyway.
I'm not sure if there's anything cool when it's muggy weather.
No.
It's like everything's miserable.
No, but it is cooler. I mean, you don't have this heavy mop on your back of your neck and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, your humidity is so heavy there.
I think Patty also has really heavy humidity in Georgia.
Yeah, like yesterday, I opened the door from the kitchen, which goes out onto the screen porch. And I went, okay, let me try to get through this humidity, just kind of
swim your way.
And yeah, and I opened up my weather app on my phone and I said, I wonder what the humidity is. 84%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the day to open the windows.
No. I can't breathe in that kind of weather, especially if it's hot.
I'm laughing because I was watching part of Bakery Bears, it was Dan's self-contained knitter, and he's saying like, well, I'm gonna be doing a totally British thing and just sit here and talk about the weather for a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
I saw
guys,
that.
we are totally just sitting here and talking about the weather. I think we're like all become like what, Brits or something?
Well,
I'm having a proper cup of tea.
as I've said on the podcast before, we were in Scotland visiting where we're living in England, and they were taking a census. And we weren't on the list. We said, well, we're Americans stationed at Lakenheath. And they said, you're British. So there you go. We talk about the weather.
I spent formative years there.
I'm going to try something and I'm going to leave and try to change my background and come back. Okay. So I'll be back hopefully in a few.
Okay.
And I changed our connection so that our Wi-Fi doesn't keep going in and out. That's what the problem was. I don't think it was on Stephanie's end. I think that I was connected to the Wi-Fi that works better in my room.
Right.
Oh, you mean this morning?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Do you mean this morning during liturgy?
No, that was just
that was them.
That was Facebook because I was actually hardlined in that time.
Yeah.
A couple of minutes earlier during this, we were like, "Oh, Stephanie, we can't hear you," and we thought it was an issue on your end with connection. It was an issue on our end, and I had to send you Wi-Fi. The liturgy, Facebook is sometimes stupid.
Yeah. But we have fun on liturgy in the morning because when we see the people come in, we have 3 people who are regular. And so we're like, okay, who's here first today? So we have a little guessing game before we start prayers. So
I was so excited when Talia mentioned that you guys do that, because when I got my prayer book for my birthday, and then Talia just mentioned that you guys were doing that, I was so excited.
And Brittany, just so you have an idea of what we're talking about, because I feel rude otherwise. Liturgy hours is just basically pray with the Psalms, and we usually have one reading. It can be either from the Old Testament or the epistles, and all the priests in the church have to are required to pray. There's like what, 6 hours? There's 3
3 mornings, one.
No, there's 3 middays. There's morning, evening,
and
night. Yeah. So
I think there's 6.
They have to pray all of them. So they're constantly praying the Bible. And I usually do morning and night because that's what I'm required to do.
Okay.
I'm not required because I'm Holy Family Institute, and they say your family life you don't have to do, but I do morning with her, and then I do my Pauline prayers and other things like that.
So sometimes when I send you a verse, it's because I'm praying my with my liturgy, and one of the Psalms just struck me. Usually if it's a Psalm, it came from the liturgy.
Okay.
Or sometimes an epistle or whatever. Sometimes it comes
from the Bible.
Right. Well, yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, just so you have an idea of what we're talking about, because
before I forget, because I do that, you can tell JD that her letter, we got her letter.
Okay, so
yeah.
I need to, you know what, and I'll do that right now because we forgot to put a picture of the cat in it.
Okay.
So I'll send it to you and then you can show Davina.
Okay, that works. Yeah, Davina said something about the cat.
She looks
adorable.
Better. She really does.
Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't remember what she had said about the cat, but she mentioned that there was a cat. Where am I at in my path? Okay. I probably should switch.
And yeah, JD is turning 10 next week.
We heard that. That's exciting.
Is that getting a little hard for you? You had a sad face.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think. And I know Marlisha understands because it's like, I don't know.
It never gets any easier. It never get. I keep telling her, I don't know when they got older than me.
So Davina
Exactly.
must have been
It was, yeah.
really hard. Davina hit 35 this year.
We got this house when my husband retired from the military when we were 38. Okay.
Okay.
And we got the house then. Davina's 35. It just kind of blows my mind that she's almost as old as we were when he retired from the military.
Right.
Wow.
It's just, it freaks me out.
Wow.
Well, I'll be 37 in 2 weeks. So see, you
But
could be.
you don't look it, so you're not. And Brittany, I'll let you in on a secret.
What?
Once you and I and Stephanie, we mothers and wives, when we hit 35, we start going backwards, and we bounce back and forth between 25 and 35. That's the way
It's
it works.
so
You don't want to go
true.
younger than 25 because then you have all those insecurity issues and stuff that come with being younger. No fun. No one wants to go back to that.
So,
Yeah.
and I
True
was
story.
it's just a number. So
Well, we're celebrating this weekend, so she's looking forward to that.
Aw,
so exciting. Well, tell her we said happy birthday.
yes.
She has a very blessed birthday.
Yes, I hope so too.
What is she gonna be able to do? Because I know a lot of things are closed. Is it just gonna be quiet in house?
Well, we're going to have since 5 of us have already had COVID. So I mean, we're good, but we are debating on having people wear masks. We're just having grandparents and then a couple of, well, my brother and then my new stepbrother since my mom just got married.
Right.
Right, I forgot that had happened. Yeah.
So we are, but we're gonna figure out we're gonna do it over at the farm shop so we can kind of social distance and we got to figure all that out. But
Right.
Yeah.
It's really important.
It just adds a whole new exciting element to your party planning, Brittany.
it does. And we're all in each other's bubble anyways. So we're kind of like, we're already, do you know what I mean?
Well, it's like you're doing an extra layer of protection. I mean, my mom had for her 80th, she just had her 80th yesterday, and my sister and her son came. My nephew, the younger one, came, and he's been at college and everything, but he's been off of college for I think 2 weeks because he does that whole year thing where you have like 2 or 3 weeks at a time.
It's not a traditional college.
And so, yeah, and so he was there and their family, but they live in Ohio. My parents live in Philadelphia. So they were doing the distancing in the house, even with the masks and everything. They were very proactive about, because my parents are in their 80s.
Right.
You know? And so,
and they aren't always quite as
they trying to have my father stay at home is harder than growing something out of a rock. I mean, he's just
he's always has to be moving.
yeah.
That's funny.
But they do take precautions.
Yes, they do.
But it's just, I don't know. I told them I didn't get my mom a birthday gift this year because they like gift cards because everything they're trying to clear out things. You know, I think they're preparing, if you will,
Right.
as much as I hate to think about that.
Right.
And they want gift cards. I said, get on Amazon and I'll give you an Amazon card. I'm not giving you gift cards that mean you have to go out to a restaurant or something. If you're going to get sick like that, you're going to do it on your own time and on your own dime, not on mine.
Right.
So, so I feel bad, but I think maybe the stole I'm working on might go to my mom's birthday. It's just to be late.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
Is that the Cerebel?
Yeah.
She's gotten several requests to send her to send the Cerebel pattern out to people because everyone's like, "Ooh, Cerebel." And she still hasn't ripped out that one knitted boomerang thing to make it the Cerebel that it was born to be.
I
was dyed to be that.
I got an email from Bettina. I don't know if you guys recognize Bettina's name, but
Oh, hang on. There's Patty. Let me let her in.
she's so cute. She wants to know if I'd done a fingering weight one. I said, well, no, I haven't, but I'm quite certain it can be adapted. You just have to adapt the hook size.
That
and
would be
everything.
really small. I think it would hurt your hands after a
No,
while.
no,
you don't
no,
think so?
no, I don't think so. And you can use whatever size hook you want to, just be a little more drapey. Hello,
I
Patty.
don't like drapey.
I want to be at the
Hey,
control
Patty.
panel. I want to say where we're going.
The doctor understands how to work that thing.
We had we tried some things. We tried putting this background. We tried putting no background. One of the things about this house is that all of the walls are paneled. And because of that, the wood, it's like being in a, well, okay, I've just lost the word. A log home, you know, how the inside, a cabin. Yeah, it's like being in a cabin because the wooden walls like that, they just suck up all the light.
Right.
And so it's dark. Every room is dark. And I'm like, you know, I'm constantly complaining. I hate to be that way, but, you know, I constantly say, what was your dad thinking when he built this house? When I, you know, asked my husband about this, because it's so hard to get a lot of light into a room. So normally I just open up the curtains and I've got light coming in. But if you close the curtains, it puts me in the dark and there's not enough light coming in to compensate for that. So even having a lighter background, I still am kind of in the dark because I don't have more light coming into the room. It's backlit.
You look good though now, Patty. We can see you a lot better.
Yeah, we can see that you exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good thing.
You need a Millennium Falcon background.
Yeah. Yes.
I'll hunt for one.
Yes. Millennium Falcon.
Next time, wait until, oh my gosh, can you imagine if I can get that background that has Chewy and, you know, where the controls. I'm here with my buddy, you know, put my arm
He's sitting
around.
on his lap.
Yeah, yeah. Or I can put John Wayne in the background.
Oh, there
That'd
you
be
go.
funny with the shawl.
Yeah.
Can't have him without the shawl.
Yep. That was so funny the other day when I went to go vote. I wanted to wear my patriotic shawl and I couldn't find it. And I was looking all over the house. It was on John Wayne. Like, give me my shawl back. I have to wear it today.
You were about to say something, Stephanie.
Yeah, I
And
thought she was. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna tell her I like that, but I like her backdrop.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
sorry.
Yeah.
Very modernistic. It reminds me of Hitchhiker's of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that is so neat.
Because Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
So where she's at is the center of the TARDIS because the TARDIS isn't, well, it's
Yep,
bigger
I
on
know.
the inside than it
Bigger on
looks,
the
but
inside.
it's not like, you know, that's
See,
the
there
main
you
thing.
go.
It looks like the TARDIS is in the middle.
Well, actually,
Yeah, that's
it's a hologram of the TARDIS.
Okay, okay.
all right. Now I'm going to move back.
I'm a heathen.
Yeah.
I think I watched one partial episode.
I watched the first of the newer Doctors. I never watched any of the ones from like the 60s or whatever.
Yeah.
So I watched the tall, gangly Doctor, and then when they just switched over to the second newer Doctor after him, but then I stopped.
The one I saw, the one with the mannequins.
That was with the first one.
Was that the one with the scarf?
No,
No,
She's
that
like-
was if it had the mannequins, I think you're talking about one, and it was a new reboot. That would have been Christopher Eccleston.
And Eccleston was the one that I considered my doctor because that was the one I saw most of them with. But
So the one I always think of because I saw it, I remember it earlier on was the guy with the fuzzy hair.
Mhm.
You know, the afro.
Yeah.
I think he was like the first or the second, wasn't he? I don't know.
No, he would have been, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's the fourth Doctor.
So when did
The
that
one
come?
who probably had this particular setting was the fifth, and that was Peter Davison, and who I met at Dragon Con, which was
cool.
really fun. And then after him was Colin Baker. The one you're talking about would have been, oh my gosh, Tom Baker. And then after Colin Baker was Sylvester McCoy, who I also met at Dragon Con.
Wow.
He was really
right
nice.
by your extensive knowledge of all the Doctors.
Well,
The one who probably rivals her is Laura.
Yeah, well, Steve watched it on PBS when he was, I don't know, middle school or something. Steve got onto it. And that was during the Peter Davison era. And so I started watching at that point, and I watched it. I went back and watched the older episodes. I watched when they rebooted, I watched Christopher Eccleston, I watched David Tennant, I watched Matt Smith. And then I started, and losing interest. And so
They get really
when
creepy
Peter
after a while.
Capaldi started, huh?
They get really, the newer ones at least are kind of creepy. The older ones, from what I understand, were more educational.
I've never even really seen any myself. I just remember when they were on PBS long time ago, the fuzzy haired guy, like in me and Marleisha's time. I just remember that. I've never even really watched like full episodes or anything.
Yeah, the one you're talking about who had the curly hair, that was Tom Baker, and he's the one with the scarf that everybody knows.
Oh, there's a couple with a scarf, because the not the one directly after Eccleston, but the one after him also has a scarf, I believe.
Well, who had the long scarf? The one that everybody made.
Well, the one who's known for the scarf is Tom Baker, the fourth Doctor, and that's who everybody knits scarves like.
Oh, I thought it was one of the later ones. My error.
No, I don't believe so. I don't believe that anybody else has had, because that was kind of his trademark. Although they went through different scarves, different lengths. It's like, oh, well, you can knit the scarf from the such and such series or this other series, and you can find all the patterns where people have done it, online and I have one that I made, and somebody has that. Oh, I think Julie has that now. I can't remember. I did give it away to one of the girls. But yeah, that once they started getting newer, I enjoyed it for a few seasons, and I really like the David Tennant ones. But lately I've just, it's been a few years since we've watched any.
I don't like anything that's really scary, so I don't.
Well, it used to make me jump at night, which is when I realized I needed to stop watching it because I was the only one awake in the house, and they just kept getting creepier and creepier, and I was like, nah, I can't handle this.
Well, it's kind of like the X-Files. I used to watch them for a while, and then they got,
X-Files is really scary.
It got creepy after a while.
They did. They got weird. X-Files got weird.
Supernaturally weird.
I don't deal well with that. Supernatural.
Yeah. Crazy. Ladies, I have to go into work for a little bit, so I'm going to say goodbye.
Okay.
We're glad to have you with us, Stephanie.
Thank you. I'm glad to see everybody in person and to finally meet Wombat of Doom and Brittany. So I'll see you another time. And I'll see you. Oh, cute.
There's one of my wombats. I have several, but this is one of them.
That's cute. Well, have a blessed day. We'll see ya.
God bless, Stephanie. We'll see you later. Bye.
And I need to go because I heard my husband is coming in, so I better check on the student.
God bless.
Well, I know that we had wanted to go in.
Bye.
Bye, Stephanie.
Bye.
Husband.
Bye, Brittany. Bye, y'all. I'm going to get up for just a second. My husband has a doctor's appointment, and I don't know if he's left yet. Hang on. I'll be right back. Are you still here? When are you leaving? Oh, okay. All right.
And we actually should probably go ahead and close it up anyway. We told ourselves that we would do it it's 11:42 right now, and you wanted to end about 11:30-ish.
Yeah.
So
we had an hour and 15 minute was our limit.
That was our
15-minute grace period. But
is there a limit on Zoom?
No, we have a paid account.
We have
no.
Fine. But in order for us to get things done.
I get that.
But you and I haven't talked in a while, so we need to do that sometime.
That's what I was just thinking about, is if we did a Zoom, then I could sit in the chair that has back support and I wouldn't, get really uncomfortable. But I didn't know, for you and me to have like an hour conversation, that's just unheard of. So
When does it happen? Because it goes to 2 hours and 3.
I was gonna say, if Zoom cut us off in an hour, we'd be like, oh no, I need to make a list of everything we need to talk.
You just have to get back in.
You
that's
just
all.
get back in,
Just have
that's
to get
all.
back in. But
Okay.
yeah, I won't be probably free for the next couple of days. My husband's gonna take my computer and see what's wrong with it.
Hang on, let me stop this recording because y'all are having a personal conversation. So,
Yeah. you just-
okay, bye to all PHN peoples. This is going to be stopping the recording. We will see you next Friday for the PHN live on YouTube. And this time it will just be for Patreons instead of for
Everybody.
everybody. Okay, see you then. Bye.
Bye.
Hang on.